Here's the Compressor Guru.
Welcome back to the Compressor Guru. Hey folks, last episode was about economics and when to rebuild a compressor and how much. And this compressor right here is a 325 Quincy, and it's probably rebuildable, but we're in a different scenario right now. Every time the phone rang this week, well, that's an exaggeration, but almost every time the phone rang this week, it was a new customer going, I'm working on a 325. And I'm like, coincidentally, so am I. Well, what happened was a customer, and I'm not sure where he's at, maybe Georgia, wants the intercooler. A customer in Arizona wants the oil pump cover. Customer in Missouri wants some valve covers. Another customer wants the unloader, and I got to find another unloader because he wants two of them. A customer in New Jersey wants the cylinder walls. And this machine, if I were to rebuild it, I'd have 8 hours in shop time. I would have a rebuild kit and whatever else I would happen to find. So I would have a quick $1,000 in parts, and considering my labor, I'd have a quick $1,000 in it. And I would take and I'd rebuild it. I'd put it up for sale, and it may sit here for a week or may sit here for 3 months before it's sold. And I'd get $2,000, $2,200 out of it, somewhere in that neighborhood. Well, the way this is working out today, I want you to watch till the end of the episode, because we'll go through the numbers and I'll show you what we're selling everything for. And you can go, geez, for an hour of teardown time, you're going to make this much money by not rebuilding the compressor. And we're going to show you that. I'm going to take a minute or two here and show you taking this flywheel off, because quite frankly, the puller wouldn't grip onto the back side of it. I even got the camera wife in to help me with I held the puller while she hit the trigger on the impact wrench. And if you look closely at this picture, you'll see that we taped some apparatus on to the bar on the puller to actually get things to hold in place. And we finally got it to where we could start moving the wheel. Once it broke loose, it run right off. And, I try to show everything on this channel when things go right and when things don't go right. And this didn't go right. The rest of the teardown was actually pretty simple until we got to the cylinder walls. That being said, here we go. I'm knocking the unloader tower loose and spinning it out, and that is sold. The unloader tower is sold. The valve cover under it is sold. The hold down sold. The pin, the unloader pin, the 7532 X, which is a brass piston, it was sold. All that stuff is a one sale, and I actually don't have two of them in this machine, but I do have two of them around the shop, and those were sold. So we moved to the intercooler. So the intercooler comes off of 4 1/4-inch bolts. By the way, the reason this is being overdubbed is because we had huge technical issues. Part of them was my back, because I groaned every time I moved because my back's hurting. But it comes off with 4 bolts out of the head, and there's 1 bolt down at the bottom, and I evidently didn't get a picture of that, but there's 1 bolt at the bottom as a bracket holding it. And this intercooler is sold. It lists for over $400. We sold it for just over $200, and the customer's, I don't know where he's at, but the customer will be, it will be shipping to him later this week. Next, I take the air filter off. The air filter isn't sold, but I'm putting it on an Ingersoll that needed an air filter that we recently rebuilt. The Ingersoll came in with an old style air filter, and it saves me $25 from putting a new style or brand new air filter on it, and there's more value from this machine. The oil filter housing is also sold, not the carrier bearing. The carrier bearing is the cast iron piece. The filter housing is the aluminum piece that the oil filter spins onto. The customer had a plain oil pump that didn't have a oil filter on it, and he wanted to put an oil filter on his machine. So this item priced out at just a little over $120. We gave it to the customer for $60, and that'll be shipping out this week. Monday morning before this airs, I'll be back in the shop taking a cylinder off. It was like somebody glued it from the cylinder to the crankcase, but we'll get it apart. The cylinder walls, both the high and the low pressure side, look good. I evidently don't have a picture of the high pressure side, but the cylinder wall is also over $400, and we will be selling it to the customer for $200, whatever half price is. That'll be going to the customer as well. Let's look at the numbers. Cylinder walls, 200 plus. Intercooler, 200 plus. Filter housing, 60. Exhaust valve plates, 45. Two spacers, $17. Two unloader assemblies, $233. The air filter housing, I saved $25. Total in parts already sold, we're at $780 plus. We also have 4 valves, a crankshaft, 2 pistons, 2 connecting rods, a seal housing, and a few more little parts that are going into inventory. So the rebuild, if we rebuilt this machine, it would have cost about $1,000 parts and labor, and we'd sell it for $2,000 sometime in the future. But we already sold $780 worth of parts. We added $400 to $500 worth of inventory, that somewhere in there. And I only had gas money invested in this pump because of some horse trading and wheeling and dealing. Folks, you may go, that was a perfectly good compressor. It was rebuildable. Well, it was. Actually, that compressor, from what I've seen, might have been able to go out in the field and run again. But, sometimes to make money, you don't have to get the $2,000 out of it. I'm actually going to end up making more money in the long run by tearing it down and parting it out. We all realize this when we talk about, a car's worth more in parts than it is as a whole. Well, here's a very good example of exactly that. So, folks, like and subscribe. We appreciate you hitting the like button. That helps the algorithm. Tell your friends about the channel. We got one more episode coming up where we're going to be talking about the economics of this particular business. And I'm not saying it's for everybody, but if you come across a free pump somewhere, especially if it's Quincy or an Ingersoll, and you can get it for nothing, this might be a way to make money on it. God bless. Have a great day.